What am I looking for? Ah, Instagram. Okay, Instagram. What video am I looking for? Ah, yep, that's the video. Yep, that's it. All right, so what you just saw was a quick little snippet that I had on my Instagram. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you definitely already seen that. But if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, go ahead and do that. At DareToCapture, I'll put it right above me. At DareToCapture. Quick side note, if things look a little different or a little bare around this little area that I'm in, or if you see some things that you're just like, why is that there? I'm in a new place, in a new office, in a new location, still trying to get things set up right, but I gotta bring something to the people. So yeah, my last few posts on Instagram have been ones where I kind of tried to make it so when you play it on Instagram, it was a constant loop and you couldn't really tell where it started or ended. So that was one of my favorite ones that I did so far because it has all in-camera transitions, and that is something that a lot of people are curious about. A lot of people were wondering how I actually made this video. So that's what I'm gonna do for you guys today. I am gonna show you exactly how I edited my video, and I'm gonna explain all the little camera movements that I did to get all the little transitions that I got in that Instagram video. So let's get into it. All right, so what you're gonna see is my final timeline in Final Cut Pro, and I'm gonna explain the process that I went through to get the video that you just saw. So I am gonna shrink myself down, and hopefully you see my screen right now, and let's just dive right in. So this is my timeline. If I just press the space bar, as you can see, everything starts playing, and now we're going. Going, kick it up, and boom. First transition right there. So if I go back, the first transition, and I play it frame by frame, boom, right there. So to get this transition, what I did was whip the camera down as fast as possible. As you can see, I kick the ball up so that I can track it, and I whip it down as hard as I can so that the next transition, which I knew I wanted to whip down as well, would make sense. So when we jump into the second clip, I made it seem as though the ball came down and landed right on this little concrete slab, and then I spin the ball. So for the start of the second clip, I made sure that I whipped the camera down as hard as possible while at the same time smacking the ball. I believe what I did, I palmed the ball, and I followed the camera down with the ball. So the impact happened, and when the camera stopped, the ball stopped. And that worked out very well for me in the end, as you can see. So let's play it again. Smack the ball, spin it, and whip transition again. So for that second transition, all I did was at the end of the second clip was whip the camera to the right as hard as I could. Now I know to make this transition seem very seamless, I knew that to start my final clip, I had to make the whip to go the same direction as I ended my second clip. So if you look at it closely, the whip, and boom, I whipped to the right in both clips, and that is why this transition seems very seamless. So if you go frame by frame, this is the end of the second clip, whip, 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 and right there, that is when you have the change. And as you can see, I'm whipping the camera in the same direction as I ended the second clip so that I have that seamless transition. So let's play this clip. As you can see, I'm walking, acting like I'm losing my balance a little bit, regain my balance, and I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna jump off this ledge. Boom, transition happens again, right there. If you didn't catch it, no worries. I think I did a pretty good job of this loop, so you might not notice the transition. But if you look closely at the timeline, I actually do have a transition added into this. So I filmed this sequence twice of me walking on the ledge and jumping. So that is actually 2 different clips. So when you see me jump off the ledge and land, and when you see my feet at the very end of this video, that is actually the very beginning of the very first clip that you see in the sequence. So if I go back to the beginning of the sequence, as you can see, it is my feet there and my feet here again at the very end. What I did to make this transition seem a little seamless was I actually cut the very beginning of this first clip and moved it all the way to the end so that when you actually do add it to Instagram, it's gonna have that seamless loop. And I know all of this is about in-camera transitions, which every transition up to now was an in-camera transition, but for this final transition, I needed to add a transition effect from Final Cut because it just wasn't coming together the way I wanted it to. So if I take this transition out and I play it, it doesn't look as seamless as it was with the transition added in. So if we look at it again, you can tell there's a slight difference, but if I add it back in and look at it again, it looks more seamless and it looks like I am at the very beginning of the clip again. So if you want to make sure that you have this loop down pat and you want to make sure everything adds up right and looks good for when you add it to Instagram, all you got to do is copy, paste, and as you can see, you have both clips back to back. But when you watch this whole clip, it should look as though it's a very smooth loop. So we're gonna start from the beginning because, well, I'm pretty proud of this loop. It looks pretty impressive, if you ask me. Just saying. So here we go. Whip transition. Pretty good transition, Steven. Pretty good. Oh, we falling. Oh, whoa. All right, yeah, we're good. We're good. Turn, and here comes the end. Boom. And it starts again. There you have it. That is how you can do some in-camera transitions. All you need to do is whenever you make a little whip transition, you need to make sure the next clip begins with the same exact motion. And yeah. All right, so this is future me, and I realized that as I'm going through this that there was one thing that I forgot to talk about. And that one thing was the music. So there's gonna be times when I do sequences like this where I pick the music beforehand, and other times I'm gonna pick the music afterwards. And with this one, I picked the music after. So sometimes that can be difficult finding the right kind of music to go with a sequence like this, because you want the music to actually go with the sequence that you have in front of you. And you also want it to loop in a way where it doesn't sound bad when it actually does loop. That is what I did. If you look closely at the timeline, you can see that the very bottom of it was blacked out a little bit, and that was the music that I had selected. I picked a song. I selected a 5-10 second clip of it, and I made sure I just kept repeating that over and over and over again. And I tried to make sure that I ended the loop of the little tiny section that I selected at the very end of my entire sequence, so that when it started over on Instagram, the entire thing would seem like the music is just going and going and going along with the video. That was just future me telling old me to get it together and not forget to leave stuff out so you don't have to jump back in while you're editing. And yeah, there we go. All right, cool. There's so many type of transitions that you can do with just in-camera transitions. You don't always need to have fancy equipment. You don't always need to have fancy software. All you need is a camera and a creative mind. That is it. So yeah, that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed showing you how to make some of these in-camera transitions. I enjoyed showing you my editing process, or my thought process as I'm editing, so that everything seems as seems as seamless as possible. If this is a video that you really enjoyed, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If this is something that you want to see more of in the future, leave a comment below. Let me know if you want to see more types of videos like this, more tutorials. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I want to make this something that people are excited to see, excited to watch. And yeah, I just want to try and help people as much as possible. I want to give the information and knowledge that I know to the world. And just hitting that red subscribe button is going to help push me to continue to do that. But anyways, I'm Steven, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Blah, blah, blah. I keep messing up. Ugh. Feel like I got my snacks though. Top 3 candy, for sure, of all time. Gotta be the berry ones though. Remember that. Yeah, come on. If you couldn't tell, I'm a fan of Rick and Morty. So yeah, don't judge me. Yeah. All right, come on. You got this. Let's go.